You're listening to The Jacob Valk Show. He's breaking down the latest and greatest in sports as only he can. Follow him on Twitter at RealJacobValk. Here he is, Jacob Valk.
Hello, sports fans! Welcome to another edition of the Jacob Valk Show. I am Jacob Valk, and I'm going to be breaking down everything notable pertaining to the 2020 NFL schedule. That's probably going to be the whole show for today. I mean, I've got 17 weeks to go through, so there's not going to be time for anything else. At least there's actually some real sports news to talk about, so that's good. I'll take it. I usually don't get this crazy about the NFL schedule, but there's nothing else to really dissect. So let's start off with week one. Obviously, it's traditional for the defending Super Bowl champions to open up the season, and the Chiefs are going to have their hands full as they'll be hosting the Texans to kick off the season. That's going to be an interesting game. It's one the Chiefs should win, but make no mistake about it, this is a Texans team that's still good. I mean, if you still have Deshaun Watson as your quarterback and that stacked defense, you're going to be a playoff team. So, look, it's a game the Chiefs should win, but it's a great way to start the 101st NFL season. Another game that caught my eye was Buccaneers-Saints. Very interesting to have Tom Brady's first game as a non-New England Patriot be against the Saints. Brady versus Breeze going at it to start the season. That's going to be really, really fun. I mean, I can already picture it now. 1 o'clock, CBS, watch the Jets, then flip over to Fox for Buccaneers Saints, and then turn on NBC at night for Cowboys Rams. That's an interesting Sunday night game to start the season, Cowboys Rams. Two disappointing teams, two teams that are obviously looking to rebound, make a big playoff run. That's an interesting game. It's not necessarily the most exciting game, but it's going to be a good game. It's going to be a competitive game. It's kind of interesting how that worked out. Obviously, week one features 2 Monday night games, and the first one is really surprising to me. Steelers-Giants. You're going to put 2 non-playoff teams in the marquee spot to start off the season? You know, Cowboys-Rams I can accept. The Rams were in the Super Bowl 2 years ago, and the Cowboys are probably the most popular NFL team in the world. But Steelers-Giants? You really think there are going to be that many people running to see Ben Roethlisberger take on Daniel Jones? God only knows what Roethlisberger still has left in the tank, and Daniel Jones is no sure thing. Joe Judge's NFL coaching debut will be nationally televised. That's pretty interesting. Then if you can stay up late, you have a great late game. Titans-Broncos. Make no mistake about it, the Broncos have everything it takes to be a playoff team this year. And they're going up against the 4th best team in the league. I've said this before, but I think it's safe to say that the Packers are better than the Titans. That's going to be a great late game. Week 2, the Thursday night game, is Bengals-Browns. That's going to be interesting to see how Joe Burrow does under the national spotlight for the first time. The Browns, obviously disappointing team last year. They added Hooper, they added Conklin. They're looking to get back on track, new regime. Very, very interesting game. That's a game that's really easy to get excited about. I do want to talk about the Jets home opener, though. And, of course, they get creamed. I mean, there's no way they can beat the Niners. None. And you're going to have that as their home opener? Oh, come on. That game's going to be over in the third quarter. Yeah, this revamped Jets offense that everyone wanted. They're trying to make this team out into a team that can win 45, 42 games. It's not that team. It'll never be that team under Darnold. The Niners defense is going to have a field day with them. I mean, you got to do better than that if you're the NFL. Make the home opener a team that can actually be beaten. Don't have the fans leave in the third quarter. I mean, come on. That's a bad job by the NFL. That's a tough game. That's a really tough game to be excited about. And the game of the week is Ravens-Texans, 4:25 start on CBS. I really don't need to say much about it. The storylines write themselves. The Texans should have gone further in the playoffs. They were up big against the Chiefs. And the Ravens were better than the Titans. Both teams are going to be hungry. They're going to be motivated. Should be a very, very fun game. The Sunday night game, Patriots-Seahawks, a Super Bowl 49 rematch. That should be a blowout. There's really no excuse for the Seahawks to not blow out the Patriots at home with Jarrett Stidham as the Patriots quarterback. Against that Seahawks defense, that I know isn't the Legion of Boom, but it's still really good, Seahawks should have a field day. The Monday night game is Saints-Raiders, the first game in Las Vegas for the Raiders. That should be really, really exciting. That's a good job by the NFL putting that on national television. I'm definitely going to watch it. Week 3, the Thursday night game. I mean, look, I understand that every NFL team should get at least one national game. They don't, but they should. But if you're a bad team, you should go up against a team that's going to be good. Just to, give the average NFL fan a chance to get excited about the game. If you haven't seen Mahomes or Rodgers or Breeze or a guy like that all year, you can flip on the national game and watch them. Dolphins-Jaguars, who's going to watch that? I'm not even going to turn it on. That's a joke of a game. And you ever notice how it's always the Jaguars that get these bad Thursday night games? Unreal. No great games in the 1 and 4 o'clock windows. Titans-Vikings should be good. Texans-Steelers should be good. And Buccaneers-Broncos should be good. Even Cowboys-Seahawks, but nothing that really jumps out at you. The Sunday night game jumps out at you, though. Packers-Saints. That's going to be a fantastic game. Offensive shootout. Whatever the over is on that game, take it. Take the over. And then the NFL outdid themselves in the Monday night game. Chiefs-Ravens. You've got 3 straight really darn good Monday night games. Titans-Broncos, Saints-Raiders, and Chiefs-Ravens. That's really good for a much maligned Monday Night Football. I don't care how bad the broadcasters are. There are going to be tens of millions of people watching that game. Week 4, the Thursday night game is Broncos-Jets. I'd love to give the Jets a shot in this game. They are home, but I just don't see it. I just don't see how the Jets are able to beat the Broncos. I'm telling you, I see the Jets as like a 5 or 6 win team this year. And there's already been speculation about Gase's job. Can he survive that type of a season? I don't know. I don't know if Douglas will can him. No great games in the 1 and 4 o'clock windows. Vikings-Texans should be good. Chargers-Buccaneers will be interesting if Justin Herbert is starting by then. It'll be interesting to see him go up against Brady. Steelers-Titans should be good. Giants-Rams could maybe be good. But it's not easy to get excited about any of those games. I am excited about the Sunday night game, though. Eagles-Niners. That should be really good. I've killed Howie Roseman for his terrible draft. Let's see if all the speed that he added is worth it. Let's see how he does against one of the best defenses, if not the best defense in the NFL, a very fast 49ers defense. That's by far the game of the week. It's not even close. Million storylines. The Monday night game, Falcons-Packers, a battle of Brett Favre's first 2 teams. I mean, that's going to be a blowout. I'm not a big Falcons fan. You still get the sense that they're hungover from 28-3. I've said that a million times. Packers are going to blow them out. The Thursday night game in Week 5 is Buccaneers-Bears. That should be a blowout. It'll be nice to see Brady in the national spotlight in a Buccaneers uniform, but you really can't get excited about it too much from a Bears perspective. As good as that Bears defense is, and it's a good defense, they're not going to be able to slow down the Brady-led Buccaneers. The game of the week in Week 5 is probably Bills-Titans. It's nice to have a 1 o'clock game actually be the game of the week. And as it stands, the Bills-Titans game is on CBS. Cardinals-Jets is on Fox. So maybe I'll flip back and forth between the two just to keep tabs on Bills-Titans. 2 teams that crashed the playoffs last year. No one expected them to be there. No one expected them to be as good as they were last year. 2 up-and-coming teams. That's a really, really easy game to get excited about. Eagles-Steelers should be an okay game. It's kind of hard to get excited about the Eagles and Steelers. I just don't think they're going to be that good this year. They'll hover around 500. I just don't think they're going to make any real playoff noise. The late game that you'll want to watch is Giants-Cowboys. I don't know if that's going to be the nationally televised game on CBS, but it should be. Great rivalry. Always exciting. Always competitive. That's going to be a fun game. The Sunday night game, Vikings-Seahawks. Should be really, really fun. Really competitive. Seahawks should win it, but the Vikings will make them work for it. The Monday night game is Chargers-Saints. The only way that that's going to be exciting is if Justin Herbert's starting. Otherwise, the Saints are going to run him out of the building. Week 6, the Thursday night game, is the game of the week. That's pretty bad when the game of the week is on a Thursday. That's a bad job by the NFL. But they had to give Thursday night football something, I guess. Chiefs-Bills should be a great game. You've got a great defense going up against a great offense. A good offense going up against a solid defense. You don't need me to tell you which one is which. I'm going to stay up for it. I'll tell you that right now. Or maybe I'll be watching the MLB playoffs. assuming they still start in October. God only knows what's going to happen with that. Oh, man. Redskins-Giants is actually pretty easy to get excited about. Two up-and-coming offenses. Obviously, the Redskins with Haskins and McLaurin. The Giants with Jones and Barkley. That's going to be a fun game. Ravens-Eagles should be pretty good. But the game that a lot of people are going to be watching, the rematch of Helmet Gate. Browns-Steelers. Obviously, Mason Rudolph probably won't be starting. How's Myles Garrett going to play in that game? Is anyone from the Steelers going to target him for retribution? That's going to be really, really exciting. Texans-Titans should also be pretty good. Packers-Buccaneers. 4:25 on Fox. That's another great game. Week 6 has a lot of really good games. To see Aaron Rodgers go up against Tom Brady, that's really exciting. The Sunday night game, Rams-49ers, that should be competitive. Division games, so there's always something extra there. The Niners should win it. They're at home. Don't discount the Rams, though. Sean McVay, we all know he's a great coach. He'll have something planned for the Niners defense. The Monday night game is Cardinals-Cowboys. That's interesting. It's a game the Cowboys should win since it's in Dallas, but the Cardinals will make them work for it. Circle Week 6 on your calendar. A lot of really good games there. Thank God that the Jets start at 4:05 that week. I actually just looked. Yeah, Jets play the Chargers in LA at 4:05 on CBS. So all I'll be missing is Packers-Buccaneers. That's okay. I can live with that. I'll have Red Zone on from 1 to 4. Or maybe just the Giants game on. And then I'll flip to the Jets. That should be good. I don't mind that. Week 7, Thursday night game, Giants-Eagles. Always competitive, great rivalry. It's going to be interesting to see who wins that game. I'm not sold on the Eagles, and I'm not sold on the Giants. I can't necessarily make a ironclad pick in that game. There really aren't too many exciting games in Week 7. Steelers-Ravens should be competitive. Those games always are. Browns-Bengals, to see two young quarterbacks go at it. Packers-Texans should be pretty good. That may be the game of the week. But that's one that's just hard to get excited about. Chargers-Dolphins could be interesting if both Herbert and Tua are starting. But if only one of them is starting or none of them are starting, that's a tough game to get excited about. Seahawks-Cardinals, a 4:05 game, should be pretty good. Chiefs-Broncos should be great. That's probably the game of the week. Chiefs-Broncos. Either that or Packers-Texans. It's close. I had Packers-Texans circled, but now that I'm thinking about it, it's Chiefs-Broncos. Yeah, Chiefs-Broncos is the game of the week. And you've got two bad national games, Buccaneers-Raiders. I'm pretty sure the mystique of seeing Brady in a Tampa Bay uniform will be gone by then. The Raiders aren't anything special. And Bears-Rams, it'll be nice to have a rematch of the NFC title game from a couple years ago. But can you really get that excited about that now? Not a fun week. And then they follow that up with a garbage Thursday night game for Week 8. Falcons-Panthers. Who's going to get excited about that? I understand that it's a division rivalry, but can you really get excited about that? What's the storyline there? Seeing Matt Rule coach? I mean, I like Bridgewater. I like Robbie Anderson, but there's not much to get excited about for that game. There are a few good rivalry games on Sunday, though. Vikings-Packers should be really good. The Jets get to get their doors blown off. I know that's not a rivalry, but I just figured I'd bring it up. They're going to lose by 50. Niners-Seahawks, 4:25 start. That should be really, really fun. And the Sunday night game, Cowboys-Eagles. That game could go a long way towards determining who wins the NFC East. It's either that or Niners-Seahawks. That's the game of the week. It's probably Niners-Seahawks, though, just because both those teams are better than the Cowboys and the Eagles. But those will be two really good games. The Monday night game, Buccaneers-Giants, a rematch of Daniel Jones' first start in the NFL. And he's not going up against Jameis Winston this time. He's going up against Tom Brady. It'll be interesting to see how Jones does there. But, I mean, can you really get excited about it if you're a casual NFL fan? It's not a terrible game, but it's not a great game. Moving on now to Week 9, and it starts off with a great game. Packers-Niners on Thursday Night Football. A rematch of the NFC Championship game. Should be a lot better than the title game that we actually got. That's going to be really, really exciting. After that, though, you've got a lot of maybe games. I mean, Seahawks-Bills will be a great game, but after that, it falls off. Bears-Titans, Giants-Redskins, Steelers-Cowboys, Packers-Niners and Seahawks-Bills will be really exciting, but those are the only two games that you can get excited about on Week 9. The Sunday night game is Saints-Buccaneers, so if you missed Brady-Breeze 1 in Week 1, you can catch it in Week 9, but it's the rematch. I just don't see that being ultra exciting. The aura will be gone by then. And then the Monday night game is Patriots-Jets. The Jets get to inflict a little bit of revenge on the Patriots for making Sam Darnold see ghosts. The Jets should win that game pretty easily. I'm fairly confident in that game. Week 10, Thursday night game, Colts-Titans. That should be a good game. It's one the Titans should win by like 10 or 14 points, but the Colts will keep it competitive. It's going to be interesting to see the Colts offense. How Marlon Mack is used, how T.Y. Hilton's used, how Rivers incorporates Jonathan Taylor and Michael Pittman into it. It's going to be pretty exciting. Texans-Browns should be good, assuming the Browns don't lay an egg like they did last year. Eagles-Giants is always competitive. Bills-Cardinals should be solid. But the two games that I'm really looking forward to this week are the two Fox games that start at 4:25. Seahawks-Rams and Niners-Saints. The storylines write themselves. Seahawks-Rams could go a long way towards determining who wins the NFC West. Make no mistake about it, the Rams are still threats in that division. The Niners and Seahawks are probably going to be 1-2. Maybe the Seahawks will finish ahead of the Niners, but the Rams could still be nipping at their heels and making them work for it by the time December rolls around. Don't count out the Rams. And Niners-Saints, you've got Drew Brees versus a great Niners defense. That's going to be really, really exciting. and I'm stuck watching Jets-Dolphins. Pity me. Seems like the Jets have a lot of 4 o'clock games. And it's weird. Jets-Dolphins, 4:05. Why is that a 4:05 game? That's weird. That's really weird. Ravens-Patriots would have been good last year. It's not good this year. That's the Sunday night game. That's going to be a blowout. Vikings-Bears, Monday night. That should be good. It shouldn't be great. It's hard to get excited about the Vikings. We all know they're a good team, but they're not a great team. And the Bears, they have no offense. We all know that. They're going to need to win on defense. How excited can you get about watching them? Week 11, the Thursday night game, Cardinals-Seahawks. That should be fun. Seahawks should win it, but the Cardinals will make them work for it. The game of the week is by far Titans-Ravens. A rematch of the AFC playoffs, the second round, where the Titans upset the Ravens. I was not watching that game live. Was at an Islander game at Barclays Center. Drove in for it. And I was following the game on my phone, and I kept turning to the people next to me. Oh my God, look, the Titans are actually up. The Titans are actually up. Could they do it? Could they do it? And everyone said, Jacob, don't get excited. Ravens are going to come back. Well, they never came back. After that, the late game that you can really get excited about is Cowboys-Vikings, 4:25 on Fox. The Jets are on bye that week, so I'll probably watch Red Zone during the 1 o'clock hour. And then 4 o'clock, I'll probably switch on Cowboys-Vikings. The Sunday night game, Chiefs-Raiders, good rivalry, old school AFL rivalry. The Chiefs should win it. I don't see that game being particularly competitive. It's in Vegas, I get that. But I don't think that game will ever be in doubt. And then the Monday night game, Rams-Buccaneers. How excited can you get about seeing Brady for the umpteenth time? See, that's the thing. The NFL is just cramming the Buccaneers down our throats. At some point, the mystique is going to go away. And we're going to be forced to watch this team for the 3rd or 4th time. Alright, we get it. He's in Tampa. Gronkowski's in Tampa. Move on. It's done. It's in the past. Week 12, the Thanksgiving week, features 2 bad games and 1 game. The 12:30 game on CBS is Texans-Lions. The Texans should destroy the Lions, especially if David Blau is starting. I just can't get excited about that game. 4:30 on Fox, Redskins-Cowboys. How can you get excited about that? I mean, look, it's a division rivalry. I get that, but unless the Redskins really surprise some people, that's going to be a tough game to get into. The late game, the 8:20 game, the NBC game, Ravens-Steelers, good rivalry. It should be an okay game. It shouldn't be great. You're probably going to have to spend time with your family on Thanksgiving. No good NFL games to go to. Depending on how you feel about your family, that's either a good thing or a bad thing. I do not judge. On Sunday, you've got some pretty good games, actually. Giants-Bengals features 2 up-and-coming quarterbacks in Jones and Burrow. But from 4 o'clock on is where it gets really exciting. And thank God that the Jets are a 1 o'clock game this week. Because at 4:05, both of these games are on Fox. Saints-Broncos, and Niners-Rams. Niners-Rams is a good rivalry. That should be a good game. It shouldn't be a great game. Saints-Broncos should be a great game. I'm not saying that's a Super Bowl preview, but you've got a team knocking on the door in the Saints and a team that's probably just 1 or 2 years away from really making a serious push. It's really easy to get excited about those games. Chiefs-Buccaneers, 4:25 on CBS is really exciting. You get to see Mahomes take on Brady again. I understand that they're shoving the Buccaneers down our throats, but to see Mahomes take on Brady, we're not going to get to see that for too much longer. That's going to be really fun. The Sunday night game is the best rivalry in the NFL, Bears-Packers. I'd love to go to that game. I mean, I own the Packers, so I'll probably wear a cheese head. So I'll make sure to go at Lambeau Field. November 29th, though, it's going to be freezing. Oh, man. Wear a parka. Or 4. And then the Monday night game, Seahawks-Eagles, should be good. It shouldn't be great. The Seahawks should win it pretty easily. I'm not sold on the Eagles, but they were a playoff team last year. It's sort of kind of difficult to get into that game, but there are some storylines there. It's not a terrible game. Week 13, Thursday night game, Cowboys-Ravens. That should be a good game. The Ravens should win it pretty easily, but the Cowboys will make them work for it. But then you get to the 1 o'clock games, and it's pretty exciting. Colts-Texans should be good. Bengals-Dolphins, Burrow versus Tua. That's going to be an interesting rivalry to keep track of. Raiders-Jets will be exciting for me. The Jets blew out the Raiders last year. I'm looking forward to seeing them do that again, God willing. Browns-Titans should be really good. An underachieving team versus an overachieving team last year. Count me in. That should be a good game. The 4 o'clock games really aren't that good, so I'll fast forward to the Sunday night game, Broncos-Chiefs. The Broncos are going to be the biggest threat to Patrick Mahomes for a long time. And we're going to get a glimpse of that in a national spotlight. Count me in. That's going to be a great game. I'm going to be glued into that game. Bills-Niners, Monday Night Football. If you like old school, defense-first football, hit him in the mouth, low-scoring games, you'll love this game. And sometimes it's easier to get into a defensive struggle than it is an offensive struggle. Because an offensive struggle, you pretty much know that the last score is going to win it. A defensive struggle, you don't know when that next score is going to happen, so you're glued in. You know, a first quarter touchdown could be the only score you get. Now, that may not be really exciting, but you're glued in because you're screaming at the TV. How do you not get the offense going? I like defensive struggles. Week 14, the Thursday night game, Patriots-Rams. A Super Bowl rematch from a couple of years ago. Without one of the quarterbacks, count me out. And then we go to the Sunday games. Really nothing that good. Steelers-Bills, Sunday Night Football may be the game of the week. I just can't get excited about any of these Week 14 games. I mean, the Bills should beat the Steelers pretty easily, especially since it's in Buffalo. And then the Monday night game is Ravens-Browns. The Ravens should beat the Browns. I mean, that could be important for the playoffs, because I think the Browns are going to make the playoffs. I know I said that last year and it didn't happen, but I'm going to go back to the well. It should be a meaningful game. It just probably won't be a great game. Week 15, we start getting into flex territory. The Thursday night game is Chargers-Raiders. Don't watch it. Unless you like one of those two teams, that's going to be a meaningless game. We've got 5 games that can air on either Saturday or Sunday. I'm not going to go through them all. The only 2 notable ones for Week 15 are Bills-Broncos and Texans-Colts. Texans-Colts should be good, not great, but Bills-Broncos is going to be really, really fun. A great Bills defense versus what should be a great Broncos offense. The Jets are in that group also. They're set to face the Rams in Inglewood. Interestingly enough, the Jets play both LA teams this year in LA. And it's kind of funny, that Week 15 game, Joe Douglas requested that they face the Seahawks and the Rams in consecutive weeks so they could stay out on the West Coast. Very, very savvy move by Douglas. I like that a lot. But the game of the week is Chiefs-Saints. That could be a Super Bowl preview. The storylines write themselves. Mahomes versus Breeze. I mean, you're going to have no defense to speak of in that game. It's going to be insane. The Sunday night game should be good, Niners-Cowboys. But the Niners should win it kind of easily. It'll be interesting to see how the Cowboys do at home with that stacked offense against a stacked Niners defense. But the Niners should win it pretty easily. And the Monday night game, Steelers-Bengals, it's hard to get excited about that game. That shouldn't mean anything when it comes to the playoffs. Then we go over to Week 16. The NFL is playing a game on Christmas Day. So they moved the Thursday night game to late Friday afternoon. Vikings-Saints on December 25th, a 4:30 start on Fox and the NFL Network. That should be an exciting game. A rematch of the Minneapolis Miracle and that no call on pass interference. That was not pass interference. Good no call. No, I'm not talking about Saints-Rams. I'm talking about the one that happened last year with Kyle Rudolph. I'm not talking about Nickel Roby-Coleman running over that Saints wide receiver. That was absolutely egregious. We've got 5 games that can air on either Saturday or Sunday. None of them are great, so I'll skip over them. We've got some good late games on Sunday, though. The last 3 Sunday games in Week 16 are going to be really, really good. Rams-Seahawks could go a long way towards determining a playoff spot. Eagles-Cowboys, same thing. That could decide who wins the division. And Titans-Packers features Matt LaFleur going up against his old team. That's going to be really, really exciting. And Titans-Packers is the Sunday night game. I'm going to be locked into that game. The Monday night game is Bills-Patriots. That's going to be a romp. The Bills are going to destroy the Patriots. You can't get excited about the last Monday night game of the season. And then Week 17, the last week of the season, January 3rd. Obviously, they're all division games. It's hard to say which of them will be meaningful because we've got to get through 16 weeks of the season and 15 games for each team. I mean, the one thing I'll say is Packers-Bears, the last week of the season, should be really exciting. It's interesting that that was scheduled for the last week of the season in Chicago. You're going to be freezing your crullers off if you go to that game. Titans-Texans should be an exciting game. That may have some playoff implications. Cowboys-Giants, good rivalry. The game that a lot of people are circling is Seahawks-Niners. I mean, I understand they played each other last year in the last week of the season, and it was a close finish, competitive game, but I just can't get crazy excited about it, you know? It's hard for me to say that that game will determine who wins the NFC West. It could. It's potentially an exciting game, but it's not an ironclad exciting game. It will be a competitive game, though. No question about that. Alright, no time for the trifecta. Hope you have a good weekend. Hopefully we'll get some news on when sports can resume. Stay safe, stay healthy, and until Monday, I am Jacob Valk saying that gin is my tonic.